And welcome to the Twinsburg Board of Education regular meeting of the board. Today is Wednesday, March 16th. The time is 7 o'clock. Mr. Aho, would you please call the meeting to order?
Mrs. Crawford?
Here.
Mrs. Davis?
Here.
Mr. Felber?
Here.
Mrs. Travis?
Here.
Mr. Curtis is absent.
Okay, thank you. Mrs. Powers, do we have any addendums to the agenda?
Not this evening.
Okay, thank you. And yes, would you all please stand for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, as you notice, Mr. Curtis is not here tonight, so I'll be taking over for the meeting. Good evening, and welcome to all those in attendance and those watching online. I'm Tina Davis, and I'm honored to serve as your board vice president. So since Mr. Curtis isn't here, I'll be pinch hitting. If you're here for the public participation portion of the meeting and would like to speak at remonstrance, make sure you fill out a blue card and hand it to Mr. Aho, our treasurer. A special welcome to the students and families of Samuel Bissell Elementary and R.B. Chamberlain, and they're here to celebrate. I'm looking forward to hearing about some of the amazing things that are happening in these schools and learning more about the students who are being honored tonight. We also have a special young lady who's here this evening who will be recognized during the superintendent's report. On March 13th, Mrs. Powers sent out Tiger News You Need to Know, and there's some important updates in there. So if you missed it, be sure to check out that email. And since our last meeting, there was one sent out on March 6th, which had a lot of great highlights in it. I'll speak of a few of them, and Ms. Powers, I hope I'm not stealing any of her thunder. Lots of exciting things happening. So with this beautiful summer-like weather, I'm looking forward to spring and sports season just getting on way, and the winter sports have wrapped up. Our Tiger basketball team competed in the OHSA district semifinalists. They didn't move on, but they had a very impressive 18-win season, so really good job, way to go. Also, our wrestling team competed in the OHSA district wrestling tournament in North Canton Hoover High School. So congratulations to all those who participate in that. Our show choir, they performed this weekend in Marysville. We have some other things to talk about with the OMEA and our band and orchestra, and it will complicate for me to explain here, but I'll do my best. So the Symphonic Band on March 4th, they had a really amazing night, and at the 2022 OMEA District Large Group event, and the concert band had an awesome performance as well at the OMEA Large Group District contest in Medina. So you can see our school website for a little more detail on that. It goes into really great detail about their accomplishments and how they earned the highest scores, which was really awesome. It's just, like I said, a little too complicated for me to explain, but I wanted to at least recognize them in that. And this weekend, the Drama Club is going to be performing Oz at the high school, so come out and see some of our really talented high school students and let them show off their amazing talents to you. Last evening, we had a meeting at RBC Chamberlain Auditorium to present to the public our plans to move forward with the Tiger Legacy Project and plans for the future of our schools and community. And we did receive a lot of great questions from those in attendance, very well thought out questions, and I'd like to thank all those who came to hear about our plans for the future of our schools and community. And from my last check, I saw that it looked like 131 people have clicked on the link to view the video. So I highly encourage all of you to just check it out, this very important video. It's we're just very excited about the prospects of moving forward with this project if the community agrees with that, and I'd love to get more input. We would love to get more input from the community members at future meetings. So speaking of great things happening and wonderful, excellent students, we have a lot to honor tonight. So with that, I'm going to turn the meeting over to Mrs. Powers, our superintendent.
Thank you, Mrs. Davis. Good evening, Board of Education. So great to see all of our families here this evening from Samuel Bissell and from R.B. Chamberlain Middle School. Thank you for being here. It's great to celebrate our students in person, and so happy for the support of our families. But before we get to all the celebrations, just a few announcements to make. A reminder, believe it or not, kindergarten registration is underway. Parents of our incoming kindergarten students, and I affectionately call them my class of 2035. So that's an amazing number, but our class of 2035 will soon be at Wilcox Primary School, and our parents are invited to complete the initial enrollment application by going onto our website and looking for under the For Parents tab at the top. Click down to Registration and Enrollment New Students, and this page has information about registration and the documents that you'll need to bring on your appointment day when your child participates in kindergarten screening. This year, we'll be conducting registration and screening appointments for new kindergarten students on Thursday, June 2nd, and Friday, June 3rd, as well as on Monday, June 6th. And you know, that sounds so far away. It's really not. It's going to be here in a minute. And those registration appointments will be at Wilcox Primary School. Students who are currently in our preschool programs, whether it's our IPP program or KPP, do not need to make an appointment for screening because those children will actually be screened during the school day in the month of May with their teachers over at Wilcox Primary School. As always, if you have any questions about our kindergarten registration and screening process, you're encouraged to please call Wilcox Primary School, and we so look forward to meeting our class of 2035 pretty soon. And you know, it's fun because our class of 2022 can hardly wait to commence at E.J. Thomas Hall in May, and coming in on the other side of things is our class of 2035, and that's just the life cycle of a school district. And one of my favorite things about this career in education is just seeing how kids grow over time, and it's just a lot of fun to be a part of all of that. As Mrs. Davis mentioned, last night we had a really important meeting over at our middle school, and it was our community meeting about our Tiger Legacy project. If you haven't heard about it, and if you want to hear about it and be a part of this excitement, I'd encourage you to go on our district website. And if you go on our district website, there's a box near the bottom that says Highlights. In that box, there are 3 buttons, and the middle one is called Tiger Legacy Project. If you click on the Tiger Legacy Project, it'll take you to a page on our website that has a lot of information about this project. And especially important, we have the YouTube video that was live streamed last night can be found on that page. So if you missed either the on-campus program last night or you missed it via live stream, you can catch a view of what we were talking about last night at RBC. So that's one place that you can catch it. In addition to the actual video is the PowerPoint that we used to talk through our program last night. Mr. Welker was helping, as well as Rob Blatchford, who is our architect from Lesko Associates. And so we just encourage you to go on there, take a look at the video, take a look at the PowerPoint, and embedded in the PowerPoint near the end are 2 important things. The first thing is there is an email address. It's called tigerlegacyproject@twinsburgcsd.org. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions about the project, that's the best way to reach Chad and I, because we're monitoring that email, and we'll be able to respond much quicker than if you send it to either of our regular emails. The inboxes are kind of busy places. So that's one place. The second thing to look for on the PowerPoint from last night, near the end of the PowerPoint, is actually a survey. And so what we're asking from our parents and our residents here, and our students, if they're old enough to comprehend the importance of this project, is your feedback. What do you think about the project that's been currently proposed? Do you have other ideas? Are we hitting the mark, or do you think this project should go a different direction? Please take a few minutes to look at the video, to take a look at the PowerPoint, and then please offer your feedback. After spring break, we will have additional meetings throughout our community, but this is the best and quickest way for you to get the information that a lot of buzz is happening here and around our school district. And we really do need all of you to be a part of the conversation, because through that engagement process, we'll be able to report back to the Board of Education what the desire is of our community, and then the Board of Education can authorize a project that meets the needs of everyone who lives here in our school community. So thank you for your interest. Really, I do encourage you to take a couple minutes to at least take a peek at it, and please let us know what your feedback is. Everyone's opinion is important to the process, and we really are encouraging everybody to just do that very thing. So pretty excited. Mrs. Davis and Mr. Felber and Mrs. Travis were there last night. And what was interesting, I found, for the participants in our meeting last night was that they were residents who didn't
necessarily have children in our school district, which was a really important thing because we can connect with our families. You know, I send you so many emails. But if you don't have a child in a school district, except for the Twinsburg Bulletin, you're really not getting information right from us. And so when we sent the postcards through the mail, to have so many of our residents who are empty nesters or senior citizens or just really aren't connected in any other way to come to the meeting last night, I thought that was really encouraging. Very interesting questions were asked. And then the other thing I wanted to tell you, on that page of our website, Tiger Legacy Project, Mr. Welker and I have a running frequently asked questions document. So the questions that were asked last night, we're going to put our answers to those questions, and we'll be posting those additional questions on the website for anybody who is interested. So thanks to our participants last night. Board members, thank you for being there. It was a really, really important evening for us, and we look forward to pushing the project forward as we go. So one more minor announcement, and I know the students already know this, but spring break is coming. Spring break begins at the end of next week, not this week, end of next week. March 28th is the first day, that's Monday, and it goes through April 1st. And we just are so excited about spring break. I know even all of the adults, boys and girls, can hardly wait to get to spring break. It's been a long winter, but we are looking forward to having a little bit of a pause here, and I hope that your families just have a delightful time recharging the batteries, getting some family time together, and just having some fun. And so we are looking forward to that, and then we'll be back at it on the following Monday. So, Mrs. Davis, I know this evening we have a very special student to celebrate from Twinsburg High School. I know this is not the high school night for celebrations, but I couldn't help myself because there's a particular student by the name of Julia Stoddard-Dare, and back in the middle of the pandemic, Julia reached out to Mrs. Farthing, who is our curriculum director, unfortunately she's not here this evening, and me, and said, you know, she said, I'm a Girl Scout and I'm working on my Gold Award, and I really want to do something that is impactful to the students of this school district. And so she worked really hard on her project, and her project has gone forward, and it has been recognized now by the Girl Scouts of Northeast Ohio, and she's being recognized as a Gold Award recipient. So the Board of Education would like to celebrate with you tonight, Julia. Mrs. Davis has a proclamation to read. That's a pretty important thing. So we ask you to please come forward, and maybe you can tell us a little bit more about your award and what you did to earn it from the Girl Scouts.
And everything to help increase their reading comprehension and reading levels. And so yeah, I currently have 11 kids in the program. I do it twice a week, and it's really exciting. So yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's incredible. That's really amazing. I bet the kids just love your attention, love being a part of that and reading with you. Boy, I didn't know that. All right, so I'm going to read to you this proclamation. Letters are very small, so I've got my glasses on. And this is honoring Julie Stoddard-Dare, Girl Scout Gold Award recipient. Whereas the Twinsburg City School District takes pride in its students' involvement in the community, and whereas the Gold Award, the highest honor a Girl Scout can achieve, is a national award which represents the difference Girl Scouts can make in their community through learning leadership skills, discovering new passions, and watching how seemingly small actions make big differences. And whereas the Girl Scouts of Northeast Ohio encourage a Gold Award candidate to explore her community, identify a need, and choose and implement a project to benefit the community. And whereas Julia Stoddard-Dare, a 10th grade student at Twinsburg High School, is a member of Girl Scout Troop 90136. And whereas Julia Stoddard-Dare, for her Girl Scouts Gold Award project, chose to start a reading mentoring program in the Twinsburg City School District. The Reading Buddies program pairs a Twinsburg High School student with an elementary school reader. Since the program started, she has worked with 7 families, 9 elementary school students, and 9 high school volunteers. Each student in the program showed measurable improvements, and Julia plans to continue the program. Whereas Julia Stoddard Dare's commitment to leadership, service, and to our community is reflected in her steady, persistent progress toward achieving this prestigious award. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I'm representing Mark Curtis, the president of Twinsburg Board of Education, and Catherine Powers, superintendent of the Twinsburg City School District, do hereby honor Julia Stoddard Dare of Girl Scout Troop 90136 on her achievement of attaining the Gold Award. So we're presenting this to you. Congratulations, did an awesome job. You don't want those, but
Oh, thank you.
congratulations.
Julia, we are so proud of you and the focus you had on looking outside yourself and to being impactful to the students of our school district. You didn't have to do that, but you cared very much and you took this project under your wing. And Board of Education, she met with members of our staff to help sort of coordinate the project, and then off to the races she went. And I'm so delighted and proud of you, and I can hardly wait to hear and see what you're going to do next. Only a sophomore at the high school, has a couple more years, and boy, you are on your way to just a future that is extremely bright. So thank you for giving back to our school community. We're tiger proud of you, and cannot wait to hear about all the success that's in your future. Thank you.
Amazing.
And so now, Board, we'd like to turn to some wonderful students from Samuel Bissell Elementary School. I know Mr. Winter has had a busy day. I was at Bissell first thing this morning, and he and Mrs. Johnson were doing the student advisory, the change agents. They had hula hoops and all kinds of, you know Bissell. It's fun to walk in the door any time of the day or night, and was busy with staffing, had a meeting at our board office about data, and here he is tonight. So Mr. Winter has had a really busy day, and I'm so happy that you're here to celebrate. So come on up.
All right, good evening, everyone. How you doing? It's nice to see everyone on this beautiful night. Thanks for being here. As Ms. Powers said, I'm Mr. Winter, assistant principal over at Samuel Bissell, and I'm so excited to be here this evening to recognize some fantastic students as Students of the Month. So a little bit of background. The Students of the Month program at Samuel Bissell Elementary School recognizes outstanding student achievement at the 2nd and 3rd grade levels. The focus of this recognition program is on citizenship, academic, social, civic, volunteer, or other accomplishments that set this student apart from their peers. We would like to proudly acknowledge the positive accomplishments of the following students. So before I start announcing our fabulous students, what you're going to do is you're going to come up here. You'll start with me, shake some hands. We're going to go ahead and see Ms. Travis over here. She's going to give you a pin, and we're going to end up with Mrs. Powers over there, and she's going to give you your certificates. And then we're going to stay up here for a group picture. We're going to make some memories tonight. Okay, everybody? All right. So we'll go ahead and get started in 3rd grade this evening with Braxton Tackett from Mr. Eustace's class. Xavier Frazier from Mrs. Rowetters' class. Jade Gatewood from Mrs. Depew's class. Aaron Coe from Mrs. Angler's class. Anna Kraus from Mrs. Glavick's class. Sebastian Lisko from Miss Belinsky's class. Andriana Reeves from Miss Benzie's class. Carter Rosenthal from Mrs. Dorland's class. And Viha Singh from Miss Belinsky's class. All right, so we can go ahead and get a picture now if anyone would like to. And have your certificates up in front of you so everyone can see. And
Parents, scoot on up if you want a good picture.
there we go. Yeah, come on up if you want. All right.
Mrs. Powers, will you?
All right, well, thanks, Mr. I think we got one more picture coming here. All right, how about another round of applause for everybody? All right, you guys can head back to your seats. Congratulations. That's awesome. All right, everyone. So what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and recognize our second grade students next. Once again, students, when you come on up, we'll follow the same pattern as our third graders here. And we will start with Abigail Burgess from Miss Jolly's class. Dominic Carasello from Mrs. Finn's class. I think Dominic wants to take over for me, so that's all right. Zoe Foster from Mrs. Springer's class. Jonah Jeffers from Miss Jolly's class. Tessa Kramer from Mrs. Holliday's class. Shane Storm from Mrs. Springer's class. And Mackenzie Stranad from Mrs. Finn's class. hold your certificates up, everybody, just like our third graders did. We get some pictures here, everyone. All right, how about another round of applause, everybody? All right, congratulations, guys. Go back to your seats, okay? All right, so I'm going to just conclude here this evening just with a couple of quick announcements. We had our PTA meeting last night, and we started to plan for the remainder of the school year, so we have a lot of really fun things, boys and girls and parents, that will be coming up. We planned out third grade picnic, and that's where yours truly cooks about 400 hot dogs, and we're so excited that we'll be getting a new grill to do that. So we're going to send our old one to the Smithsonian, which is great. And also we have Cone Ice Truck coming, which is fantastic as well. Field day, and we're going to conclude with an end of the year party in the box, which has been around for the last few years, and I always say it's not a party unless it comes in a box. So I just wanted to thank everyone for a fantastic, thank you, Mr. Welker, a fantastic, wonderful school year, everyone. And what's going to happen now, everyone? The folks from RBC are out there, so we're going to head out, Bissell, that way, and they're going to come on in. But I just want to thank everyone for being here tonight. And it seems like a good handles night, everyone, so enjoy yourselves. Sorry, Ms. Krause. All right, take care, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Powers. Thank you.
Sounds like a grand idea. It was crowded on the way up. Did you see it? Yeah. It's a good night for ice cream.
Well, good evening, RBC families. Thank you for working along with us. I know this evening we have a wonderful group of RB Chamberlain Middle School students that we're here to celebrate, and I see that Miss Loudon is here, and she's going to be the Mistress of Ceremony. So as soon as she's ready, we're ready to celebrate some outstanding RB Chamberlain Middle School students. Good evening, Miss Loudon.
Good evening, Board of Education. Good evening, parents. It is my pleasure tonight to introduce to you our Students of the Month for RB Chamberlain. Students receiving this honor are recognized for meeting 6 criteria. Each student has met all 6 criteria, which would include showing respect for self and consideration for self and others, showing enthusiasm for academics as well as extracurricular activities, exerts a positive influence in the classroom with their classmates, exhibits leadership characteristics, exhibits patriotism and democratic principles, and shows responsibility such as turning in their assignments as well as punctuality, even though we don't have bells at RBC right now. So it is my pleasure this evening to recognize the following students. First, we have Alyssa Giancola. Jack Davis. Autumn Reed. Hardy Chen Jr. Carrie Nichols. Edward Lee. Mia Benitez. John Akuma. So, Board of Education and parents, these are the 2022 March recipients of Student of the Month. Thank you. Congratulations, and keep up the great work. If you would like to get a picture, this would be the opportunity. While these students are standing up here showing off their beautiful smiles, I would like to also share with you some highlights at RBC for the past month. Students in the brand new STEM-focused RBC Eco Team, they are led by Mr. Joseph Higgins. They have been busy tapping as well as monitoring the sugar maple trees that are on the school ground. So if you see these odd-shaped buckets hanging from these rubber hoses wrapped around trees, they are collecting maple syrup, and they are debating whether they want it over pancakes or waffles. That's the trivia right now. The RBC Power the Pen team strongly represented the Twinsburg Tigers at regionals. Allie Rosenblum placed 4th out of 105 riders, and Laurel Marquise placed 7th out of 105 riders. The 7th grade team placed 10th overall out of 35 teams, and the 8th grade placed 4th. So now they're moving on to state to represent the Twinsburg Tigers. We wish them luck. RBC held its first PBIS incentive block party. What is a block party? Well, the students had an opportunity. I think you enjoyed it. Yes. They had an opportunity if they met the criteria, which was to get less than 2 points. And you get a point by getting like a minor referral for something. And if they had less than 2 points, they were able to sign up online for opportunities to do a wellness activity. Some of them included power yoga with Mrs. Salwan, karaoke, soccer, frisbee, coloring for relaxation. Some students joined in the fitness area, and we also had Pictionary and much more. They enjoyed the last 20 minutes of a day, and our next one is next Friday, the 25th, right before spring break. Thank you for the opportunity to share these wonderful things that are happening at RBC and for highlighting our fabulous students. Thank you for coming.
Well, I can tell you when I heard that Mr. Higgins was tapping the sugar maples, it brought back lots of memories from when I was a child, because my mom's family owned some acreage in Chardon. And it was this time of the year that it was an important activity for the family. So that is so cool. And I'm so glad to hear that our students are getting a chance to learn a little bit differently and some hands-on education. So congratulations to Mr. Higgins and to the ECHO team. And boys and girls, thank you for being here tonight. You know, it's interesting to me when we have the Bissell kids in here and how small in stature they are, and a few years later, here you are. And then pretty soon, some of you are going to be transitioning up over the hill there to the high school, and off you go. So moms and dads, just hold on tight, because middle school goes so quickly, and then before you know it, it's commencement time. And students of this caliber get involved in so many great things. And along the way, they're just going to learn and grow. And before you know it, off to college or a career or the military or whatever they decide. So thank you for being the support to your son or daughter, and thank you for celebrating tonight with us. And Ms. Loudon, thank you for representing RBC, always doing that in such a great way. Have a nice evening, everybody.
All right,
And Mrs. Davis, that concludes my report for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any committee reports this evening? All right. And any cards for remonstrance with, okay, didn't think so. Thanks. All right, then moving on to our action items. Action item G, employment certificated. Resolved that the Twinsburg Board of Education accepts the certificated licensed personnel and/or contract recommendations detailed in the attached exhibit as per the dates, terms, and other applicable conditions specified, pending satisfactory ORC background checks. 2, employment classified. Resolved that the Twinsburg Board of Education accepts the classified personnel and/or contract recommendations detailed in the attached exhibit as per the dates, terms, and other applicable conditions specified, pending satisfactory ORC background checks. And 3, employment supplemental contracts. Resolved that the Twinsburg Board of Education accept the supplemental contract recommendations detailed in the attached exhibit as per the dates, terms, and other applicable conditions specified, pending satisfactory ORC background checks. Do I have a motion to move, please? So moved by Mrs. Crawford. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Felber. Do we have any discussion? Okay, hearing none. Mr. Aho, would you call the roll?
Mrs. Crawford?
Yes.
Mr. Felber?
Yes.
Mrs. Travis?
Yes.
Mrs. Davis?
Yes. Those items pass 4-0. Okay, action item H, new business. 1, resolve that the Twinsburg Board of Education approves the College Credit Plus Memorandum of Understanding between Cuyahoga Community College and the Twinsburg City School District for the 2022-2023 school year per the attached exhibit. 2, resolve that the Twinsburg Board of Education approves the private event contract with signature of Soul and Country Club for the class of 2022 prom on Friday, May 6, 2022. Event is fully funded by the student participants as sent to the board under separate cover. 3, resolve that the Twinsburg Board of Education approves the revised lease agreement with the City of Twinsburg to utilize yellow school buses for the summer 2022. The City of Twinsburg will compensate the Twinsburg City School District Board of Education for use of the buses, including mileage, gas, and bus drivers, per the terms and conditions set forth in the agreement as sent to the board under separate cover. 4, resolve that the Twinsburg Board of Education approves the proposal for overnight extended student trip for the Twinsburg High School Great Expectations Show Choir to travel to Maryville High School in Maryville, Ohio, to compete in the Maryville Showcase from Friday, March 12th, 2022 through Saturday, March 13th, 2022. Trip is funded in full by the Twinsburg Vocal Music Boosters and sent to the board under separate cover. And 5, resolve that the Twinsburg Board of Education approves an agreement with the Summit County Educational Service Center School Leadership Connection Service, 420 Washington Avenue, Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, 44221, to conduct the treasurer search as sent to the board under separate cover. This is a general fund expenditure. Do you have a motion to move, please? So moved by Mrs. Travis and second by Mr. Felber. Thank you. Any discussion on this?
I just have a couple items. It's such a pleasure to see a prom that we didn't spend 2.5 weeks discussing COVID protocol, as well as an overnight trip. And for those that don't know, it's not that we can't see our treasurer, that we need to search for him, that we, once again, for those that don't know, Mr. Aho has announced his retirement of 20 years for the district. So once again, sadly, it's going to be some big ledgers to fill. So.
I see.
Tip your waitresses. I'll be here all week.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Do we have any other discussion? All right. Hearing none. Mr. Aho, would you call the roll?
Mrs. Travis?
Yes.
Mr. Felber?
Yes.
Mrs. Crawford?
Yes.
Mrs. Davis?
Yes. Those items pass 4-0. And number 6, resolve that the Twinsburg Board of Education approves the purchase of computers from CDW-G LLC, 200 North Milwaukee Avenue, Vernon Hills, Illinois, 60061, in the amount of $141,925 as sent to the board under separate cover. This is a permanent improvement fund expenditure. And 7, resolve that the Twinsburg Board of Education approves the purchase of computers from CDW-G LLC, 200, address already given, in the amount of $41,210.68 as sent to the board under separate cover. This is a permanent improvement fund expenditure. Do I have a motion to move, please?
So moved.
So moved by Ms. Crawford. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Travis. Any discussion on this? All right. Hearing none. Mr. Aho, would you call the roll, please?
Mrs. Crawford,
Yes.
Mrs. Travis,
Yes.
Mr. Felber,
Yes.
Mrs. Davis.
Yes. Those items pass 4-0. Moving on to item I, miscellaneous. Does anybody have anything for miscellaneous tonight?
Yes, I do have something. I would like, on behalf of our Board of Education, to offer congratulations to Mr. Khan and the orchestra students. They received a superior rating at their OMEA large group event for orchestra, and they will be going on to state for competition in April. I'd also like to offer congratulations. At the last meeting, I mentioned that our bands were going to be competing. So congratulations to Mr. Bonnets and our Symphonic Band. They also received a superior rating at their OMEA large group event and will be going on to state for competition. Congratulations to Ms. Gossett and our concert band, who received an excellent rating at their event, and that's awesome for that particular part of our band. Congratulations to Great Expectations. They are competing and moving along, and we wish them good luck this coming weekend. The Twinsburg Vocal Music Boosters, thank you for everything that you are doing. The band boosters, the orchestra boosters, without all of you, none of this would be going on. So we do want to offer you all congratulations and keep up the good work and good luck in April.
Great. Thank you for properly recognizing them, because mine was very condensed and I was hoping somebody would save me. Does anybody else have anything?
Go
Yes.
ahead, Ron.
I was just gonna say, Twinsburg Council PTA for next week from March 21st to March 25th, we'll have an inclusive awareness spirit week to recognize World Down Syndrome Day on March 21st and World Autism Day on April 2nd to celebrate our inclusive school community in Twinsburg. So there is a flyer that's going out that will have recognizing each day will have different things going on.
And I just wanted to once again thank the folks that came out in person and that also watched the live stream of our listening session. It's really critical on the ongoing sessions for the Tiger Legacy Project to share your voice via email and in any way to let us know your thoughts on the plans. They're ever evolving. They change as we hear different suggestions. It's a big deal. It's a big project, but we ultimately need to build what the community wants. So please continue to look for that information. Ask questions. It's a long process. If it were to happen, it's a year in design and a couple, 3 years at least in building. So someone built those schools, for my kids that graduated in 18, and they paid it forward back from 45, 1950, and so on. And it's time to just really keep that going, but we need to build what the community wants to see there. So please look, there's a lot of elements to the projects, a lot of things with athletic fields and the schools themselves and the various things that are going to happen with the project should it be designed as it's being proposed. So please engage in that.
And thanks for the athletic boosters group for endorsing that project as well.
Yes, especially. Thank you. All right. J, executive session. There will be need for executive session tonight. That the Board of Education enters into executive session at 7:45 to consider the employment and compensation of public employees as per the Board of Education policy number 0166A, and to consider the purchase of property for public purposes as per the Board of Education policy number 0166C. Do I have a motion to move, please? So moved by Mrs. Crawford. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Felber. Mr. Ahill, would you call the roll, please?
Mrs. Crawford,
Yes.
Mr. Felber,
Yes.
Mrs. Travis,
Yes.
Mrs. Davis.
Yes. All right, that passes 4-0, and we are in, now entering executive session. Thank you for those who watched, and have a good evening.